Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy BULLBOYKENNELS. Just wanted to do a quick video here for you. This one's partial pickup and review, kind of at the same time. But as far as the pickup itself, I want to say this was a Japanese movie, if I'm not mistaken. I had to watch it with the subtitles, of course, because I know I speak a day language. But anyways, that movie is none other than was it Murako? So it's the Murako Trilogy. I know on the package it says Murako Trilogy, but I think it just the movie itself is just called Murako, like on IMDb. Now this one does come with two different artworks. It has this this side here, which is the side that I like. I like this artwork. And then it also has more of the artistic style type of artwork. So you have that kind of going on, which on the cover itself, that's the artwork that they do have on it. So for the disc, that is the same artwork. Now it is reversible, so if you want to switch out the artwork to be this, you can do so. So definitely can do that. Like I said, this is a trilogy, so it's supposed to be like an anthology type of film. So I guess I'll just kind of get into some of those, type of films that they got. But I figured to show you this real quick as far as the spine, which would have been for this side. And then, of course, the spine, that would be for this side of the artwork, which, like I said, I like this artwork better. Anyways, where do we start with this Murako? So if you kind of look at this artwork, it kind of gives you a better idea of what's going on with the movie itself. So the first anthology episode, it's kind of these two dudes, basically, they just go around chopping people up. It's pretty much what they're doing, chopping up people. They're taking them back to their place, and they got this one girl trapped inside, basically chained up in the bathroom. And they got her just cutting up folks, so she's basically like their human trash disposal. They got her just chopping up the bodies, flushing them down the toilet. How they're getting these bodies into like these storage areas or into their like little tiny apartment, because that's what it looks like. And having this one girl just chop them up and flush them down the toilet. They ended up pretty much meeting their demise, at the end of that. It's not a long episode, but there's not much talking in there either. It's very little words being said. It's more like physical movement type of deal that they're doing, because it really wasn't much when it came to words being said. So I mean that one was kind of short. I see where they try to get real stylistic with the coloring of it. They kind of went overboard with that, a little too stylistic. But I mean, as far as them chopping up the bodies and whatnot, I mean that was pretty cool. But I would say that episode wasn't really great. Like it, I kind of had to struggle a bit to keep watching it. But then I figured, you know what? Let me just keep on watching and just see where it goes from here. So, anyways, we get into the next episode of the anthology, and on that one now, that one's a lot better. Still not a lot of talking, but it's a lot better. Actually, there's really not a lot of talking in any of the three episodes. Not much. You get more talking as the episodes go on, but it's still not like a lot of vocal back and forth. So you do kind of have that. But on the second episode, you got these two sisters. One's supposed to be like the brainiac, one's kind of like the bad girl. And then the family's trying to find a way to cleanse the daughter of this like evilness. So it's almost kind of like they're doing almost like a cult type of exorcist to her, which is kind of weird how they go about this. So you have like this one dude who's supposed to be, he's not a priest, but he's almost like a cult type of person. That's really the best way I can explain that one. And he's trying to get them to get rid of these demon spirits from the girl. And even at one point during the movie, the girl even says, I feel as though they're going to kill me soon. Well, she wasn't lying about that, because when they finally get a hold of her ass and start doing that whole spiritualistic type of voodoo craziness, even stuff with the cross, trying to cleanse her. That's basically what they end up doing. They basically end up killing her. And then that cult person is like, yeah, wait till she comes back to life. Yeah. Yeah. Now, the funny part is they chop her up. Like, they literally chop her up in pieces. Like, she's getting chopped up, sliced up. I mean, you name it, there's a part for it. And that's basically what they did to her. But towards the end of it, she actually does come back, pretty much like to life, basically. And, she takes her revenge out on the parents. So you got the father, she just gives him a good old whopping with the foot. And there goes his head like a football, flying off, just flying. Now she's going to go ahead and turn her attention to her mother. Yeah, she's going to kill her too. Yeah, she's going to die too. Her mama, her mama going to die. So that was a funny one. Now she also has a sister. Sister's kind of crazy. Like it's almost like she's too smart, but she's a little like insane. She finds everything and with a hysterical laugh. She's like, "Oh, we can be sisters now. I can kill you 10 times over because I already killed you once." Yeah, so so the one girl that they had killed to begin with, she basically just takes her head and just crushes that. Like just puts her down like a smashed tomato. So that episode was actually good. So I'm glad I did keep watching it, because that episode was good. First one was a little rough to get into because wasn't much being said, and you kind of had to like figure out what the hell it is that they're doing. You know what I mean? But the second episode, definitely much better. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into the third episode. What was it called? Like A Mother's Love or something like that. So you have this girl, at the very beginning, it's the mother and daughter. The mother's going to give her daughter this. So her mother's like, yeah, here, go ahead and keep this, wants her to keep that necklace. So the mother goes off, and does her thing. It's whatever. But apparently, the daughter gets this letter from her mom talking about, that there's been an accident. She has to come to her. So she goes, she goes to her mom, goes traveling off, go find her mother to some crazy ass building. And, some dude lets her in, then, he looks like he's drunk out of his mind and whatnot. So he takes her on upstairs. And then there's another dude up there. You could tell he's high as can be, just laid up on the couch. So, she's kind of like leery about the situation. She's getting ready to like dip. So you can tell she's thinking about like, hey, it's time for me to dip up out of here, get up out this space. It's not good. Shit's not vibing. So you can kind of tell that's what she wants to do. And then another guy comes up the stairs. He's the one that's even more messed up than the first two. So, they basically end up, keep having her like push her in more into the to the room and whatnot. So she's like, well, where's my mother? And they're like, oh, well, she's over there. Go on over there and get her. Pretty much. So when she opens up the door, she sees her mom chained up, eating like an animal on the ground. So it's almost like her mom kind of like lost her memory. That's what it seemed like. Like she doesn't know where she's at. Some kind of crazy, I don't know, mental state where she done lost her mind. That's pretty much where her mother's at. Eating like this, I don't know. It could be a chicken leg. I don't know what the hell it was. She's over there. So her daughter's like, oh, mother, blah, blah, blah. You know how this shit goes, right? But then the mother starts like licking her on the face, some weird shit. So you could tell, the mom ain't all in the head. So the girl, gets upset. She's like, pretty much she wants to help her mom and get on out. So when she goes and confronts the dude kicks her in the face. Bam. She goes, bam. Kind of like slow-mo. Ooh. So you can tell her face all bloodied up from that. And then they end up taking her out the room. But before they pull out the room, that necklace her mom gave her at the beginning of the movie falls and lands on the ground. So the mother ends up picking it up. And, for some reason, that's when she starts to get her memory back. Starts having these flashes like, oh, wait, this is my daughter. I gave this to her. And while she's having those flashes, her daughter over there getting violated. Yeah, she getting violated. She don't get violated once. She get violated twice. So you got the first dude that brought her up. He violated her. Then you got the third dude that came up the stairs that didn't let her go back down. He violated her. Now this whole time, the mother's in that back room trying to escape because she's chained to the floor. So, she takes this big old cinder block. She starts smashing her hand, trying to get free. She's like, ooh, you got all this blood going all over the place. Blood here, blood there. She's just trying to smash, get on out. Then she finds up getting like, well, I don't know where she gets this piece of glass from that she's looking for. But she finds this piece of glass. She starts cutting her hand up to get freed up and whatnot. So, that's what she's trying to do to, go ahead and get free. So finally, she gets herself freed up. And the second dude that was violating her daughter, while he's still in the middle of violating her, he tells the other dude, which was the second dude when the girl first came up, hey, go check on this chick. So when he opens up the door, the mother, she done already cut her hand off. So, she basically just got a bone sticking out. So she stabs him straight in the eye. Bam! And he's like, oh. So that's basically how the first dude died. He just getting poked in the eye with homegirl's bone from her hand. Now you got the dude that's currently violating the girl. Well, not sure where the other girl gets the weapon from, because I don't remember. Well, she ends up just cutting off his shit. Boom. While the mother's trying to, basically give him an ass whooping too. So now, now he messed up from violating her daughter. So both of them end up getting killed. Now you got the original dude that first let the girl in. So, he ends up walking back into the building, and he's kind of like, oh, man. Oh, he's laughing at his two friends, because of the way they're laid up and killed and whatnot. But you can tell he's so high, he don't really register that they're dead. Until the mother appears behind him, and then he's still laughing about the whole thing. And I don't know where they get these like supernatural powers from, but the mother basically kind of like lifts him up and twists him, and just tears him apart right in half. He's like right at the torso, just tears him, slings his body. So that's how he ended up dying. Um, but yeah, so like I said, every episode got better. That first one was kind of rough though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. That first episode was pretty rough to watch, but if you can make it through it, get through the next to the next one, I think you would enjoy that craziness of Maruko. I think it's not Maruko, Mukuro, Mukuro. I think you would definitely enjoy that. Plus the mother and daughter kind of get back together and they're kind of like, yeah, one with a smashed up hand and then one with a missing hand because she had to smash her own hand to get herself free. So yeah, but that was a pretty interesting watch, I must say. Now I did end up ordering this through, I want to say it's called Error 4444 was the website. Now this movie doesn't have no barcode, so it was kind of a pain to be able to scan this into my movie library database app. I had to look it up to be able to add it that way because it doesn't have any barcodes. I have another movie from them, but I have to I got to watch that one. That one I think I want to say is 3 parts, but we'll get into that one at a different time. But I did want to go over this one first, kind of give you that quick review of it because, in all honesty, the episodes are not very long. They're pretty short, considering even though they call it a trilogy, it's not very long, so you can actually get through them in a good amount of time. But yeah, I thought it was definitely worth the watch. Definitely interesting. But aside from the first episode, little rough on the edges. But like I said, there's not a lot of talking. It's just more doing of what's going on with these 3 episodes in that anthology or trilogy, whatever they call it. So you may find it interesting, you may not. If you do, definitely let me know what you thought about it. And if you think it's trash, hey, by all means, let me know too. Anyways, other than that, hey, hope you enjoyed the video. It's been your boy BULLBOYKENNELS, and as always, keep them scratching. Peace. We up out of here.